Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out a super easy beginner version of Stir It Up by Bob Marley. Definitely not going for the full-on reggae feel here, but a really great song, again, for beginners. Just 3 chords, A, D, and E. And especially if you're using the Beginner Song Course app there, you can play along with it. Real simple, just doing a single strum on each chord, let it ring out, and you get the feel like you're playing the tune. It's great for working on your chord changes. So, don't feel like just because you're playing a reggae tune, you've got to go full-on reggae mode. If you're a beginner, it's totally fine to just keep it nice and simple and play along. Now, so this song has a pretty simple chord progression. It is basically a bar of A, 4 beats on A, and then 2 beats on D, and 2 beats on E. Okay, so you end up with this thing going A, 2, 3, 4, D, E, A, 2, 3, 4, D, E, and it just stir it up, 3, 4, and D. Little darling, stir it up. Little darling. Now it doesn't sound, obviously when you're doing it like that, it doesn't sound so reggae. We'll talk about that in a second, but relatively speaking, the chord change, well, there's only 3 chords, so if you're really new to guitar, you'll probably find changing between the chords is the stumbling block the most, in which case you want to keep the strumming real super simple, just 1 strum on each chord, and then be playing along with the original recording or the Beginner Song Course app thing, so you're just getting used to making those changes in time, right? You don't want to be playing the changes late. See if you can kind of start moving your fingers in time, so when it comes time to strum the chord, that you can get the strum done at the right time, like right on the beat. That would be the first step to work on. Once you're through that, then you want to try doing the 4 strums per bar. So the very first one, you might just be doing something like this. So going 1, 2, 3, 4, changing to D, and then to E chord, and back to A. 2, 3, 4, and then to D, and then to E, and just making sure that you can get that first, that you can get those chord changes so that the D and the E and back to the A, that you can move the fretting hand fingers fast enough to be able to play the tune. That should definitely be the first step. Then you want to work on doing the 4 down strums to the bar. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, and it'll be 2 strums on D, 2 on E, back to 4 on A, 2 on D, 2 on E. Still not sounding very reggae, hey? Now, the thing with reggae is that you've got this kind of offbeat feeling. It's kind of a lift. Once you're feeling confident with the 4 down strums to the bar, it's perfectly cool to just try out some other strumming patterns, even the ones that kind of aren't appropriate, because you'll soon start to learn which are the right appropriate ones for the right song, okay? And part of that journey is using the wrong one sometimes. So just experiment and try out different strumming patterns that you've learned and see kind of what works. Now, to get actually that kind of reggae feel, we want to be playing on the off beats, or the and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. If you wanted to do that, you probably want to be using a down strum. Now, for most beginners, I recommend that you're doing an up strum on the ands. But in this particular case, I think it kind of feels better to be doing it with a down strum. So you just be thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now, interestingly, you might be thinking, well, it's exactly the same strumming as strumming on the beat, and you're right. It is just doing down strums 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's the same rate of hand movement, but it does feel very different when you're playing on the off beats. It's got much more of a kind of reggae feel. That's what happens on real McCoy reggae playing. And even if that's not completely what you're aspiring to at this stage, it will give you a little bit more of that feeling. Those of you nearing the end of my beginner's course might like to play the bass note on the beat and the down strum on the and, so you end up with this kind of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And again, again, that sounds even kind of getting even closer to a proper reggae feel. The original recording's got lots of different guitar parts, but none of them are doing that exact kind of thing. They're doing some chips, but it's way beyond the remit of a beginner's guitar lesson to get into detail with this tune. So do have a go at playing along with the original recording. It's lots of fun. The Beginner's Song Course app has got loads and loads of great songs for beginners like this with simple chords. The play along thing really helps to help you keep your time. If it's still a bit fast, you can adjust the tempo and turn it down. You can put the capo on the actual player and play it in different keys if you want it to fit with your voice better. And if you're playing at a party, all of the words are coming up on the screen there, scrolling along like karaoke, so people around you can sing along with it as well. So it's a really, really good kind of party guitar karaoke kind of a situation that you can find yourself in there. So hope you're enjoying all of that, and I'll see you for plenty more lessons very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.